Growing beans in a container. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. G'day there, I'm Dana from Pewakaka Valley Homestead. Part of the deal of being in the Shed Wars competition this year is that you have to grow something in a container, which is not something I usually do. I usually grow all of my things pretty much in the ground, mostly because I forget to water things in containers and they tend to die. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. First step, of course, is to get some kind of container that I can grow it in. So we're going to use one of these big blue barrels and cut it in half. And that will actually give me 2 containers to use. And then the next big challenge for me is finding out where on earth I can keep it, because there's no room in my vegetable garden, and my patio would be an ideal place, except I have a young dog that will eat anything edible as soon as it's even half ripe. So I can't keep it in around the backyard somewhere. So I'm wondering if maybe I might keep it around here somewhere, which is sort of considered out the front of the house. This is our wood shed. We call it the shed. It's a shipping container. And this gets the morning sun. It's sort of late morning at the moment. I'm not entirely sure how much afternoon sun we're going to get around here though. So it might be an okay place, or it might be a terrible place. But I think we'll give it a go here. At least it's sheltered from the wind, so it shouldn't blow away. Another option would be in where that bin is there, because behind it is my vegetable garden. But again, I'm not entirely sure how much afternoon sun it gets. So I'm going to cut this in half, fill it with compost potting mix, and then I have some Blue Lake runner seeds that I'm going to grow in there. So I'm going to grow some beans in a container. If you don't know what Shed Wars is, it's a garden growing competition. If you follow the hashtag SHEDWARS21, you'll get access to all of the other competitors' videos that they're putting out. We are in Team Down Under, and we are a group of people from the Southern Hemisphere. The Northern Hemisphere are doing their competition in their growing season. The first step is to mark halfway up the height of the barrel, and then we are just going to use a circular saw to cut it in half. Both these barrels have already got holes drilled in them. If they didn't, I would drill some extra drainage holes, but this one's got one and the other one's got a couple of massive ones. So I'm not going to bother drilling drainage holes. What I am going to do though is drill some holes just a wee bit down from the top that I can tie some strings to, because I've used all my bamboo poles already. So I'm going to tie some strings through them to a big pole up through the middle to give the bean something to climb up. Right, now that they are drilled, I'm going to actually move it into position, because once it's full of dirt it's going to be really heavy. So I have just cleared a space for it here. Whether it stays here or not, I'm not sure, but we'll see how the sun goes and how they grow. So these are the holes. To be honest, I just used the drill bit that I already had on the drill. It's a nice big chunky one, because my string I've got is quite thick. And I've just put them, I haven't even measured them, they're just over a hand width apart really. So I'm going to fill this up with some potting mix and get some beans planted in it. Starting a new container or even a new garden is a great time to use up some of that extra animal bedding that you've got as well. So you're not solely using lots of bought potting mix. Turns out getting a camera angle for this is quite difficult. Here we go. So I've got a stake and I'm going to pop it in the middle here as best I can. And of course it's got itself stuck on all that straw. So this is going to be kind of like the centre of a maypole for the strings that I'm going to tie the beans around. So I have my Blue Lake Runner bean seeds. I'm just going to pop them, poke them in, a couple at each hole, knowing that that's where the string's going to be. Now, did you know if you don't have a container like these barrels, you can usually pick them up for $10–15 each from places that have finished using them. They often have food products, olive oil, that sort of thing in them, sometimes honey even. You can actually just lie a bag of potting mix down and slit a hole in the flat side of it and plant your plants straight into there. So be it beans, peas, tomatoes, what have you, you can plant them straight into a bag of potting mix, even just without a container. So I'm just going to cover those back over, and here comes the magic. I'm just using some cotton string that I've got. I was actually bought it to make macrame things for hanging up my pot plants, but this one's a lot thinner than what I expected. So I'm just going to tie it through the hole. Don't know if you can see that. I'll bring you over so you can have a look. I've just tied it through that hole there, and then I'm going to bring it up to the top of the pole. Where are we? And down to the other side, and then tie it on the same thing on the other side, and just repeat that round and round and round. So there we have it, a finished little teepee and a container, and all I did at the top here was just tie some string around a few times to stop them falling off the top in the howling gales that we get here. So the little beans will grow up, and then I can encourage them to attach themselves to these, and then they will grow up, and then I can reach in underneath and pick all the beans. Do you grow anything in containers at your house? If you do, let me know in the comments below what it is you grow and what sort of containers you use. I hope you found that really useful. If you have, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.